All right, we're in. All right, everyone. Hello and welcome to another episode of Millennial Mingles. And here at Millennial Mingles, as you may or may not already know, what we do is look at the problems that we're dealing with here as millennials that we're facing in dating and relationships, and also offer some wonderful relationship advice. Okay, so the topic on hand today is something that has gone viral. I got hundreds of calls. Well, I ain't gonna say hundreds, but I got quite a few calls, and I've also seen quite a few comments about a gentleman. He's a image consultant as well as an influencer slash, I guess, dating consultant by the name of Kevin Samuels. He came out with this video speaking to this young lady who called in to his show to get dating advice. Well, long story short, he began to say a few things that some people felt might have been a little, off the normal beaten path, which caused a little upruckus. So let's even take a look here at exactly the headline. We can put that down here. Basically, dating consultant gives woman savage response when she says she wants a six-figure man. So, some of the quotes that he said was, at best, she was average or she was going to die alone. These are some harsh comments, but we got to examine it first. A couple of the other comments that he said were men don't want a 30-year-old baby mama. Also, average women tend to get average men. Average women don't qualify for the top 10% of men. Women like that are in that, well, we're going to come back to that. Actually, here's another one. Average women think that they're better than men that they qualify for. And also, he says, financially successful men are not looking for how much money a woman makes, but what are they looking for? Which brings us to the question, and the topic for today is, what are men looking for, as well as are men not looking for the 30-plus-year-old baby mama? So that's going to be our focus point for today. What are men looking for? What is the goal, even for, especially because we talk about millennial men, what are millennial men seeking in dating? What is the new rule? I mean, I believe that as millennials, we need to define our goals a little bit clearer, because we're clearly much different than our predecessors or even the ones that are seeming to come after us. So we have to define what our relationship goals are. And to do this with me, I have a wonderful co-guest host tonight, by the name of Stefan Cotter. He is amazing. He has a podcast by the name of Two Whiskey Podcast. I had an opportunity to look into that earlier in the day. This title caught me. It says, just because you put syrup on shit, don't make it pancakes. I was like, that is good. I don't even know what the whole thing was going to be about, but I knew that this had to go somewhere special. So introducing Mr. Carter himself. How are you doing tonight?
I'm doing well. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate the opportunity to talk on your platform. But real quick, also, I have another podcast as well called Love, Lust, and Lies podcast. It's on all your streaming platforms. Check it out. Also, hit up the Instagram, Love, Lust, and Lies podcast on IG. And email us at Love, Lust, and Lies Gmail. Well, at Gmail, sorry.
All right, solid. So we know how to get in there with you. All right, cool. So let's just jump right into it, okay?
Okay.
The topic for tonight is what are men really becoming that way? Are men really not looking for the 30-year-old baby mama? Are they looking for something different? What exactly are men looking for? So I'm going to just ask first to you, sir. First of all, do you agree? Do you agree with Kevin Samuels' viewpoints on women?
As a whole, not really. I find a lot of his stuff is just a little, more on the male dominant viewpoint or point of view. meaning, looking for more of the housewife type or the Stepford wife type. But when it comes to, perspectives like this one on the, six-figure women trying to attract six-figure guys, or, women that are 30 and up with kids finding it hard to, get a mate. It's just, I agree, because of the things that, in my opinion, six-figure men are looking for. Me personally, I'm more, I'm right around breaking into that six-figure. So I'm more on the average, pay scale. But I do have a few friends who are in that six-figure category. A few of them are married, and a few are still out here in these streets, trying to catch one.
Trying to get there.
Yeah. So, and I know I got a couple six-figure friends that ain't trying to do any of that. They just loving this single life, and that's where they're gonna be till they not.
I understand. I feel you. I honestly, when I got introduced to him, I mean, there was some, you got your good, you got your bad. I have mixed feelings on what he's saying, but I've actually looked into a few of his videos, and you can see a lot of the people, women, men, that he actually talked to, they find his information informative, so
right.
It's one change. It's changing a few things here and there. So no discredit to him. I mean, he's getting his little job done, but it has definitely caused a lot. I'll speak from the women's side. So
okay.
For the ladies, it has definitely caused space of, like, he's being, disrespectful in terms of how he approaches her. Like, he could have approached her in more of a professional manner. I mean, especially if he's supposed to be an influencer, a life coach, or these things, he could have had a different dialogue, if he wanted to express his point. Also, what about what, people think, what about what men do? It's not just the woman's position, but it's the man's position too. Like, you can't just always blame the women for not having thoughts and minds together. Men play a role in a lot of aspects as well. So I think that we just, want to understand, what are men looking for? Like, that's the bottom question. The bottom question is, we're in a new generation where it used to be, all right, men just wanted a good wife that was going to stay home while they go work at the factory and go take care of things, and they just could stay home and cook. And a lot of us still have that in our imaginations, that that's all you want. It's just a woman for us to just stay home and cook and take care of the kids and make sure that's enough, But look, I guess not to make you define all men or what all men want, but what are some of the things that you might be looking for in a woman today, if you were dating scene?
Actually, I just got out the dating scene probably about 2.5 years ago. I'm actually engaged.
Congratulations.
Oh, thank you. Actually, I should be married right now, but COVID kind of ruined the plan. So, but yeah, so
go ahead. Sorry.
Me personally, I was just looking for an equal partner, and as far as, someone I could spend the rest of my life with, and know that we, match just, mentally, and, all the others, like the physical and just all the wage scale and all that, could work itself out. Me personally, and honestly, when I speak to my friends, they just looking for somebody that they can laugh with, that they can vibe with, somebody they can talk to and won't look at them like their opinions are, irrational or, man thinking or something like that, because, we've all dated, that person, male or female, who's just single-minded, only, want their opinion regurgitated to them, and they just have a closed view on the world if it's not in their best interest.
Well, all right. So let's focus on the strong suit topic of our conversation. Men aren't looking for 30+ old baby mamas. What you feel about that? Do you think that women that have children, is that becoming a deal breaker?
No, in average terms, in average men's terms, I would believe no, because a lot of men have kids of their own that they're bringing into the relationship as well. So I kind of like feel like if you have a kid coming into the relationship, you can't be judging somebody else for having a kid coming into the relationship. Now, the amount of children is a big deal breaker.
And
I will say that.
Yeah, I'm feeling like I'm noticing with some of the men that I do discuss things with, is that this is kind of one of the things that you put on the list. Like, how many women, how many kids you're willing to handle, or if if you're interested in that. I mean, so what are we saying here? So you're saying like, okay, or not you're saying, but let's just say what we could be saying here is, the more money you start making, are you starting to take away as many kids as you might be willing to tolerate? Like,
so let's think of it from, I don't mean to interrupt, I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead, I'm listening.
So think of it from the male perspective, right? I feel like a lot of women don't understand the male perspective just because that's not their viewpoint. So if a man married, let's say a single man marries a woman with children, he then takes on two dependents. He has to feed, clothe, house these people. So now he goes from just being, by himself, taking care of himself, to now taking two new people on. And that means bigger house. That means more food. That means more clothes. And depending on the age of the child or children, that could range. That could range by hundreds of thousands. That's what I'm just saying. So now, if you take it from Kevin Samuel's perspective, a 6-figure man, right? A guy making 500 plus, he could probably take on something like that. But his thing is, he got a legacy he has to, hold up, right? He's already started the legacy, or he's a part of a legacy of whoever the men are in his family. He wants that to continue on. So therefore, he wants to have his own children as well. So if you come into it with 3 kids, who says he wanted to take care of 4, 5, 6 kids, depending on how many he wants? You see what I'm saying? Because and me being a step parent, I love both my daughters. I had one daughter, my fiance has a daughter, and they're both close in age, which also was a good benefit. But when the man takes on that responsibility, especially if he has no kids in it and he wants more kids, it kind of, I don't know, like yes, you love your stepchild, but you still want your own, right?
Okay.
So
you can still have your own, and they'll have.
Yeah, but here's the thing: a lot of women a lot of women aren't easy to be with when they have their own views on how a child is supposed to be disciplined, how a child is supposed to be talked to, how a child is supposed to be taken care of. And I can tell you from past experience, women don't take kindly to their man talking to their kid in a way that they don't approve of.
Would you be in a household where you didn't have a voice over what happens with the children?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
Why? Why can't she?
Because then,
they her kids in the first place. Go ahead.
And some women say that. Some women will hang that over your head, like these are not your kids, they are my kids. And then that's when I say, well, I have to go. Because I'm not a part of the family. You know what I mean? Okay. If I can't discipline the children that are in my house, then what they need to listen to me for? Right. Why would they care about what I have to say? Because I'm always going to get trumped by mom. So that puts my status in the house below them. I can't be in my own house and I'm on the bottom rung. That don't work. Not if I'm paying the bills. And also, if you talking about that 6-figure man, he's paying everything. Okay, and he ain't got no say so.
Okay, here's a twist. I got a twist in my head. So, what does the woman? What is there? What? Just give me one special thing that a woman, let's say, that has like, I don't know, 5 kids. What unique trait? Because we can't say that a woman that has, because I've seen it on Facebook, 8, 9 kids. We can't say that they're completely eliminated just because they have children. What other valuables could help push that statistic or even make you oversee that being an issue?
So here's the thing. When I say anything, I'm speaking in general terms. I'm not speaking every woman that has 3+ kids are, out of the dating pool, period. Like they'll never get someone to date or marry. When I say that, I'm just speaking generally. Yes, there are women that have 5 kids and, go on to get a husband, live great lives with that man for, ever. But here's the thing. That is the minority when it comes to women with 3 kids or plus, in my opinion. I haven't looked any of this up. I'm just looking around at people. I'm just looking around at people. And also,
I see you said, so you're saying there's a greater ratio of women that don't have kids or don't have a lot of kids?
Well, that don't have a lot of kids.
Okay.
Or, here's the thing. You also got to think of it from this point of view. Let's take that young lady for instance. She only had 1 kid, but that kid was 13 years old. That man can't really tell that kid what to do, especially if it's a boy.
Okay.
Because here's the thing. If that kid's father is in his life, he gonna listen to his daddy more than he listen to you. Or another like man that's in his mom's life, but not quite in his as a father figure to him. And also, she said her son's father was kind of crazy. Ain't no man that I know making 6 figures got that type of time. Men that I know that are making high 6 figures, they do not like their time wasted. They are very direct, straight to the point, and blunt. And those are bad mix for opinionated people, whether it's male or female. If it's a male and you wasting like a 6-figure male's time, he's just going to say, all right, man, whatever, I ain't got time for you. Like, he's going to keep it straight just like that. As a man, we know that ain't no malice or anything behind it because that's how we are. If you ain't making sense, then I got to move on. Now, from a woman's perspective, I guess that's a little harsh because, in my opinion, this is my opinion alone, women have been coddled their whole lives. Ooh, especially pretty women. Think about it. If you have men, if you're a woman and you were raised around men, what were they teaching you? You're a princess. No, if anybody messes with you, come get me, get your brothers, get your cousins. You can get whatever you want pretty much. All you got to do is give me crocodile tears and I'll crumble. Like, it's fathers with daughters. That's why it probably was a bad thing to do.
Yeah.
Think about it. Yo, women want little girls want ponies when they're growing up. No little boy get the option of a pony. I mean, a lot of women ain't going to get a pony, but I'm saying they make it like the parents sometimes make it happen. They take you to a little farm with the little pony and you get a pony for a day. Stuff like that. Little boys ain't getting that. Boys want to meet.
Why are you boys the way you are? So y'all know why we women are the way we are.
Think about it like this.
Yeah. So how did you get here? How did you get here? Go ahead.
So I had a very independent mother. Mm-hmm. My father wasn't in the picture. So my mom was raising two boys. I'm the youngest. My brother is 5 years older than me. So my mom did not want dependent sons. She hated the idea of a mama's boy. Think about it like now. Nowadays, a lot of women are raising their sons as their boyfriend and their best friend.
Oh.
I couldn't talk to my mom as if she was my friend. Because the first thing I heard was, look, little boy, I ain't your friend. You ain't gotta like me.
That is
All
true.
I gotta do is raise you to be a good man. I don't care if you like me or not. But what you ain't going to do is disrespect me or talk to me any kind of way. And I put it to you like this. My mom bought the tricks. I loved tricks as a kid. So commercial came on. I said, yeah, mom, tricks are for kids. She said, well, take your kid ass to the store and buy them on your own. Then you can eat your own tricks. That's the type of mom I had.
Oh, God.
So my mom, I had a paper route at 11. My mom made me give her 10% of that paper route as my rent. And this is in 1995, 96.
Wow.
Also, once I got a real job, I had to cough up like, I was making like $300, $400 a check back in the day. You know, you working at like a McDonald's type situation.
That was big money back in the day.
Right, back then that was big money. But no, my mom wanted $50 out of that.
Oh, dang.
But eventually she would give it back to me in little other ways, but she was teaching me discipline to pay my bills on time. If I wanted a phone, back then we ain't had cell phones. I had to get the little line in my room with call ID, long distance, all that. I had to pay for all that. My phone bill was $40 a month.
So my thing is though, with all that good money and all that good teaching from a good mama, good mama, why don't you want like, you know, your classic, I don't know, good woman? I mean, it seems like the male, and this, let me add my opinion, I guess.
Okay, go ahead.
To me, the women that are winning today are women that are submissively, I'm trying to come up with the right terms. They're not really requiring much out of men. You know, it's kind of giving women that give men the easiest road possible. And I feel like this is,
I'm sorry, go ahead.
This is my opinion. You know, I understand the opinion that we've talked about, but my opinion is that men are not trying to be accountable to being great men, and they're choosing weaker women to hold them accountable to weaker definitions.
I agree with that.
Yeah. So whereas like, but leading where you were going with your history as a child, how did we get to this space where men feel like they can buy any type of woman that they want? Is that because you had a paper route at 11, so you believe money can buy anything? Like, where did it come from? What is that?
So I'm a huge hip hop fan. Like, I love hip hop, but here's the problem. Hip hop came with a lot of flaws.
Oh.
And that's just because of the way we were raised. In my neighborhood, the guy that had the money, the cars, the jewels, the fly gear, he was the guy that got all the girls because he was telling the girls, hey, if you with me, you can get a part of this. And you ain't really got to do much. So back in the 80s, going back to the crack era, dudes was, late 70s, early 80s, dudes was buying, at that time, $20,000-$30,000 cars that average men couldn't afford. So if you had a lady back then, or even now, it's become egregious, but even now, the average man sees that competition and he just can't keep up, because the whole Birkin bag and Chanel and Gucci and all this, regular people can't afford that stuff.
Exactly.
So when men are seeing that, all you have to do is have this to get that type of woman. What the hell am I out here busting my ass for? Trying to get, old Nicole from around the corner. Let me go ahead and sell these drugs. Right. Let me go ahead and sell these drugs. Let me go ahead and play ball, or once I do actually live a good life and go to school and become this $500,000 man or above, it's like, all right, I'm 40 now by the time I get to this age. I still want to kind of have fun with that 20 and 25, 30-year-old that I couldn't get back then.
Wow. Is this
like
real?
I work.
Is this true?
Yes, that's a true statement.
Yes.
You got to think about it. This man has been working his whole life to get the lifestyle of the rapper, ball player, whatever. And now he finally got it, and you want him to settle down? That's not realistic thinking.
Oh gosh.
Let's just put it in a woman's perspective. A woman has been taught, like we were discussing before the show in pre-production. Women of our millennial age generation weren't raised to be wives. They were raised to be independent. You don't need a man. You can get it on your own. Go get them degrees, get your money up, and then start thinking about a family. So think about it like that. By the time y'all get into the age of prosperity, y'all want to settle down. It's reversed from the male point of view.
Wow, that is such an interesting perspective.
Unless he meets you, like y'all meet on that way up, and then y'all equally yoked, y'all have the same perspective. So he's not going for that lifestyle that he once wanted, because now all he wants is you, and to continue building what y'all currently have. Wow. And I don't feel like a lot of women think from that perspective.
Yeah.
Now, to the guys you were talking about earlier, listen, man, a lot of men are weak. Let's just be blunt. A lot of men are weak because they either grew up in a household where they really didn't have no say, or they saw, or they were raised by a woman who treated them like their best friend, or raised by a mom who basically coddled them. So yeah, of course they're gonna want the same thing out of their wife. And if all you got to do is give her $10,000 every other week or whatever, put money in a Birkin bag and then hand it to her, well, of course, he wants to keep life simple.
I got a question though. Do you think it's possible because if he's putting in the money to have that basically trophy wife, is basically, are you saying that men have the ability to numb themselves to having somebody of real value? Like they can numb. Really?
What do you think? Listen, why do you think?
Don't you think you need a woman that's going to bring you all that good, I got your back, we can bounce energy vibe thing?
Yeah, all that sounds good. All that sounds good until I'm arguing with you over, who's going to sweep the floor, or it ain't my turn to clean out the fridge and all that. All the regular people stuff that we got to deal with.
I'm starting to notice a trend with this conversation. Men are not really looking for too much work, or should I say liabilities, too much things that they have to maintain and work and keep up with. Like you're trying to make your work as low as possible, because all these things is just you're gonna have to work. You're gonna have to put in effort.
Yeah, but here's the thing: when you making all this money, you feel like you ain't got to deal with all that.
Yeah,
like I'm out here bringing in $1 million checks, sweetheart. I shouldn't have to worry about why you mad. What you mad for? You sleeping in Gucci on Versace sheets and you got all this. What you mad for?
You know what made me think of that thing where Plies was like, you mad. Like I mean, like, about you
like,
being
why
mad.
you mad? Exactly. You got to think about it like this, right? There's like been going like a whole lot going around, right? Me personally, I feel like nowadays both partners should bring, equal value, meaning paying the bills and all that type of stuff. If y'all basically, earn about the same wage or salary or whatever, yeah, you should split the bills. And if, one makes a little more than the other, well, then that person pays a little more just because, you make more. Now, there are a lot of women in the average column. I'm not saying women are average. I'm saying people as far as their financial status. In the average column, that don't want to work. That are saying, I'd rather be a stay-at-home mom. And it's like, well, you're looking at the stay-at-home mom vibe from TV perspective, like Real Housewives of Potomac and Atlanta and all that other stuff. Their husbands got millions. So they got nannies and all this other stuff. They ain't really got to do no work.
Oh, no.
And honestly, let's keep it real. If you're a stay-at-home parent, after your kid goes to school, you ain't really got to do much. Trust me, this is coming from a single father of 11 years.
Oh,
I was in the game 11 years before I met my fiance. You know what I'm saying? So once my daughter started going off to school every day, I mean, yeah, all I had to do was pick her up from school, get her lunch ready, stuff like that. But if I had the day off and she was in school, oh, it was love.
Wow.
I cleaned up the house in the morning and I was chilling. I was chilling till about 4 o'clock after she had, got home. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I feel you.
So
it's complicated. It's complicated.
Yeah, when I put it to you like this: if I was a ball player and I had millions, I would have no problem with my wife being a stay-at-home wife. Well, shit. When the season ain't on, I'm staying at home too. I mean, I'm probably training and all that, but I ain't really doing a whole lot. Yeah, we gonna have nannies, we gonna have a chef, we gonna have maids, all that. But when you only making 100 to 200,000, yeah, that ain't gonna happen. Think about it like this: in our area, the DMV area, one person has to have an average salary of 150,000 in order to live comfortably. That's one person. Now imagine what a family of 4 has to. It's ridiculous, man. Yeah. It's ridiculous.
Yeah. And I mean, now to kind of like, because this is a strong point to kind of flow this out, you got to think about when you get old, though. Like when you get old, you're an old man, I mean,
right. I'm about to solve that for you.
You get what I'm saying? Like, what about the old life?
Yeah. Women always talk about, well, when you get old, you ain't going to have nobody take care of you, this, that, and the other. Listen, I could show you a whole lot of old pimps that can tell you against that. It's called money. You buy friendship and companionship for the time that you need it. You feeling lonely? Go get you a lady for a couple of days. You know what I'm saying? I know an OG. He said, listen, man, I got married twice and it ain't worked out. for two simple reasons. I like me, and being alone is a lot more easier. Those two reasons.
Wow. And I believe,
because he says when he needs, some happy time, he just go, pay for it. They got all these websites now where you could just do it real easy. He said if he want to go see some, titties and asses, he go to the strip club. It's easier to satisfy that need. And he said if it gets to the point where, he's older and can't, do things on his own, he gonna hire him a fine little in-house nurse, give her a room in the back or have her come over every day and take care of him that way.
This is simple. This is deep. This is deep.
Also, there are
nurses'
aides that provide, sexual pleasure as well.
Happy endings.
So it's like, why purchase the old saying, why purchase the cow when you're getting the milk for free?
This is just getting more and more interesting. Okay. Because we could unpack this for a while, but there are some things that I want to finally touch up on before we close out here. So let's see our final. This is our final statements. Oh, look at this thing. We'll fix that later. Anyway, so the final thought. What if these things that you're saying is all true, right? That women's value system for men has, the value system of the need for the woman has changed. Then what are women now today considered valuable for? Like, what is our value?
So to touch on Kevin's statement when he said, six-figure men ain't really looking for your degrees and how much money you make because they got their own. They ain't worried about yours. And that goes vice versa with women too. If a woman is making, great money, six figures, high, mid six figures, they don't care about a man's money either. But that woman wants a six-figure man. Mm-hmm. They want a man that's equally yoked or probably more. Mm-hmm. Men don't care. You see what I'm saying? Because the wife, in a man's point of view, isn't dependent upon to bring home the bacon or provide financial needs. Now, in my perspective, women that are in my, let's say tax bracket, I'm looking for a woman that that's equally yoked as far as, wage, thought, just vibe. The whole, we got to understand it. You know what I mean? So it's not hopeless for women. It's just, I get it. Women hate to hear this. You got to bring down your standards. Well, yeah, sweetheart, I'm sorry I'm sorry. Women hate to hear that word, sweetheart. I don't understand when that became a bad thing.
I mean, listen, you got to be careful.
Someone you can't even give a compliment to nowadays, but that's for another story. What I'm saying is, dang, I done forgot what I was about to say. Basically, what I'm saying is, listen, if you only making like 80,000 to 150,000, like let's take the young lady on the show, for example. Also, that's a show where he's been doing that. I've been watching for about 6 months. He's been doing that and talking to people like that his entire show, like this, from that I can remember. So she knew what she was calling into. People know when they call in there, they're going to get the brutal, honest truth. So, with that being said, if you only make 100 to 150,000, right? You got your nice pet grooming business, and that's great. But if you're trying to meet a man that makes $500,000, $600,000 to $1 million a year, sweetheart, that doesn't mean that all your little degrees, your little business, that don't mean nothing to him. He's got that times 10. That's not impressing him.
Now,
when you bring that to the table with a guy like me, I'm gonna be like, damn, that's what's up, sis. Get your money, keep pushing. Let's ride, let's rock. What can I do to help you get to your second business? What can you do to help me get to mine? You know what I mean? So it's like we understand each other. If you down here and you trying to talk to somebody up here, what you doing down here ain't really impressing them.
Now I'm gonna make a real strong point based off of my circle. Like if my female friends that make over $100,000 a year, they find it where when they date a man that doesn't make as much as they make, they are intimidated by them in a way, or they come off as they, you know, don't feel like they can bring enough to the table to really be a man of the house. So in a way, I think that the lady that came on was trying to get that point across. Like, look, I've been trying to date these average guys, but they're not, you know, feeling adequate. So then you telling me I got my inadequate over here, and then I go over here and I got, well, I don't want you because I can buy any girl I want. So you saying I'm only stuck with what?
What? Yeah, what?
Like what?
No, I get it.
What are you all telling women right now? Do y'all hear the life right now?
No, listen. Right now, that's why I'm glad I'm out the game. It is hard to be single now.
Even outside of you, because for real, men don't have this issue. This is not y'all problem.
What?
This is I gotta be here for the
what?
I'm trying to support. This is not y'all problem. Do you know?
You don't think men are out here struggling?
No. Look, we're gonna do this. Are you ready? Are you ready? You ready? Because men they have so many options. It's 8-1.
Yeah,
for every one man, there's 8 women. And that's not talking about the gamers that are sitting in their basement. So we really should up that statistic.
So think about it like this, though. Just because it's an 8-1 ratio, don't mean that all 8 of those women are women that are desired.
True. Okay, I get that point. But we have to pick through these thin pickings of undesirables and desirables.
I'll say your patch to pick from is a lot slimmer than the male patch. I will give you that. And that one could be very undesirable. So,
yes, very undesirable.
I understand. Listen, man, I'm out in the bar. Well, back when outside was open, I'm out in the bars every other Friday or every Friday with the fellas, and I'm just watching, and I'm like, whoo, man, I'm out the game. I am so glad I'm
woman want more. And I'm guessing she was calling like, look, I'm out here struggling, you know.
So here's some advice I could give women.
Okay, let's go back to that.
If I can say that. I'll put it to you like this: the whole women making more than their man thing. It could work, no problem. Me, I'm a man that had no problem from, you know, even from when I first started dating, like seriously. Excuse me. I had no problem with my woman making more money than me. I knew what I was bringing to the table. You know what I'm saying? I'm not like out here just leeching off of her and, you know, making her do all the financial, you know, carrying that financial load. So it's like, all right, she make more than me, but hey, I got my portion of the rent or the mortgage. I got my portion of the food. I got my portion. But this is what I got that in those situations. Well, it shouldn't be no portion. You should be taking care of me. You should feel bad as a man that you can't take me to a nice restaurant and this and that. And it's like, what? Or it's like, I ain't been like a Noble or something like that in a while. Or making little small comments like, dang, my girls and them, they going to Cabo, they going to here, they going to there. Must be nice. And it's like, you got your own money, fam. Go ahead.
Oh gosh, that's so crazy.
Here's the situation I can give you. I was in it wasn't a relationship. I'll call it a situationship. It didn't become a relationship because one, I couldn't tell her son what to do, and she let her son do whatever he wanted, in my opinion. And also, she made more money than me, but it wasn't an extreme difference. But she made more money than me by, I want to say about 20K. So she did a lot of traveling and all that with her friends and brought a lot of expensive clothes and all that, right? So when it came time for like, hangouts and all that, it was always at these really expensive restaurants and stuff like that. So I could do that once or twice a month. I can't do that every weekend. Or we had Maestro's on Friday. Now we had Ocean Prime on Saturday, and then we go to like this another expensive place for brunch on Sunday. I can't do that. So because I wasn't able to do that, she said, "Oh, you can't keep up with me. You can't afford me." It's like, yes, I can. It's just you don't want to pay for nothing. It's like, oh, now that you got a man, all that money you make, oh, you get to keep it, and I gotta be there? Nah, that don't work for me. And
men are supposed to be the provider. They're the ones who go and labor and bring the paper home.
Guess what? That was back in the 50s. when your mama and my mama and them grew up, they was in the 60s, 70s. They learned their independence. They was able to get out there and get jobs and stuff like that. You got to think, a lot of men, especially millennial men, were raised to work in a trade. I went to a trade school so that I could graduate and have a good, career path, stuff like that. Like, we were taught to work with our hands, work in factories and jobs of that nature. Those jobs ain't around no more. Women are winning because they went to school for business. They went to school for teaching. They went to school for, accounting, stuff like that, where, now y'all going to have an upper hand in, when it comes to the average lifestyle. You see what I'm saying? So you making 150, I'm making 100. You used to a lifestyle of going out with your friends and all that. That's cool. But now you in a relationship and you still want the man to pay all the time. So now his 100 is looking less and less because you another dependent. And you ain't supposed to be a dependent.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's like some women feel like I'm making all my money for me and you making all your money for us. Oh, matter of fact, you making your money for me too because I want you to spend most of your money on me.
Wow. This is deep.
But I'm not saying that's all women.
It's not all women. We're not. None of this that we're saying is all women. It's really the grander
general grander scheme
about. Because if you talk about me, I mean, I can't keep enough men off of me at this point. I took my AirPod out earlier, and it was like, "Hi, what's your name?" I was just like, "Jesus, let me put it back in. I don't want it."
I was so mad.
No, hold up. That man was like old as hell. He was like 70. Nobody.
I get that. But here's the thing. I was considered a square when I was younger, right? Girls would say I was corny because I would, be nuts. I had a girl one time tell me, "Yo, that's all you got?" when I introduced myself to her. She said, "Come on, you got to you got to surprise me, come up with something original." I said, "Hi, how you doing? I'm Steph." And she was like, that's it. And I was confused.
You want to know why? You want to know why she acted like that?
Why?
Well, because all right, yeah. Because you know why women reject men mostly is because usually the man these days, the weaker, the whacker ones are just after sex. So because that's
I was among men many a time.
Okay. So because of that, it creates a dynamic where it's like you're gonna have to show me a little bit more than just a hello, because I know your hello right kindly behind it right there is so you look really good in those pants, just by the way. You know what I mean? Like it just kind of brings a thing where it's like, I need to know you're into me. Not saying that she should have dished you, that you were just saying hi, but you need to know that you're into us more for us than our bodies.
Here's the male perspective.
Okay.
I don't know you. Why should I be into you? I don't know you. If I meet you in the bar, right?
Uh-huh.
You out with your girls, I'm out with my fellas. I say, yo, I'll be back. I'm gonna go holler at her real quick. I like her hair, you know what I'm saying? I like her vibe. Let me see what's up. Of course, I'm looking at all the physical because that's all I can see. I don't know your education. I don't know your background.
Oh, right, though. We don't think like that, though.
And why men and women struggle to get along. Men are very physical creatures. That's just who we are. Now, as we get in the dating and all that, we're gonna be like, damn, she does this. She's involved with this organization. She does this and volunteer work, and damn, she dope as hell.
We almost want you to see those things and acknowledge those things as when you say hi. And I don't know where that comes from. Don't ask me. I don't know. I'm just telling you my truth. I want you to know that I'm amazing the first time you meet me, and that you have to go above and beyond to make me happy right now. That's horrible. I'm sorry for that.
On the True Whiskey podcast, we gotta say it. It's called "We Speak the Inconvenient Truth." Right?
Mm-hmm.
Most people want the truth, but it hurts them when they hear it. So here's the thing: inconvenient truth, sis. We don't give a fuck about none of that shit you got going on. When we just had 2 drinks, and we start 2-3 drinks, and we starting to feel it, and we see you in them tight jeans that you knew you put on. I don't give a damn what y'all say. Y'all say, "Oh, I did it." Yes, you do it for you because you like that confidence, but you also like that boost of self-esteem when 10 motherfuckers is walking up to you at the bar.
I mean, it is.
That makes you feel good that night. Because what you say to your girl when you leaving out? Girl, we gonna kill him tonight. That's what you say. So
you're right. Yeah, you gotta get
coming up to you because you got the girl sitting up. You got the tight pants that you got to jump to get in, like Beyonce said. You got your face all beat up. You know what I'm saying?
Because otherwise, you wouldn't even get the attention. And see, it's a crazy circle. And we got about a good 5-7 minutes. And I think it's really good that we begin to start to finish off on that point. I really just think that we just don't understand each other. At the end of the day, there's been a lot of things that I agree with what Samuel's had to say, and also hearing the female perspective, I can hear where that side comes from too. And it's a lot of stuff in the background, like we just kind of dissected a little bit here, that changes up all the variables. However, and it's just, we have to come up with some type of understanding through the midst of it all, and that's what these type of things are for. So we can try to discuss that, because some of this stuff I'm gonna have to go back and look at myself, like, oh my gosh, is that really true? But it is, and it's just, I think that we just come from 2 different spaces, and we just need to find a way to make them come together.
So I'll add one more tip before I get out of here.
I'm in all ears because my ears are bleeding now. It's like, I'm joking. Go ahead.
Men tend to say, well, that's the irrational mind of a woman.
Really?
And this is what we mean by that. Women, and you see the memes all the time. Women know they wrong. They can know 1,000% that they wrong, but they won't let that man know that. Women's apologies are, you want some head?
Oh my God, for real. Yes.
I mean, my bad. I am a little blunt. So
I was ready, but I wasn't ready. But I was ready. I got ready.
I can't on you like that.
It's all good.
That's the type of apology women give, right?
Mm-hmm.
They'll never. It's hard to get a woman to say she was wrong, and I'll say that generally. I don't know specifically with all women, but also women say things like, I want you to love me, but not too much, but not too little, because then I don't think you're going to love me. Or I want you to show me affection, but I don't want you all up on me, because then you look thirsty. But I don't want you to be too far away, because then you look disinterested. So I need you to always find that middle. And the middle for every woman is different.
Oh God!
You see what I'm saying? So a man has to figure that out every time he starts to deal with a woman, and that is the problem. That is a hard fact to figure out.
Interesting. Right? It makes a lot of things make sense from that perspective, because then you just want to pay for what you really want, and basically at this point, a lot of you sound like you just want a peace of mind.
Listen, man.
so simple. It's like I just don't want too much drama. I just want to keep it simple.
From earlier, a lot like straight to the point. Man, listen, man. A lot of men have dealt with the fighting with, just to be heard from their woman, to the point where it's like, why even deal with all that? I'll just pay a chick and until, she gets tired or I get tired, and then I just move on to the next.
Dang.
Simple as that.
It's rough.
It's a lot.
It's so rough.
Just trying to pick out what you're going to eat that night with a woman is.
It is intense. We're gonna have to come back to this. I'm gonna have to take some time, and we're gonna have to recap this at a later date after I take all of this in and know how to rebuttal better, because you definitely hit me here. Yeah.
I can tell you a real quick site to go to on YouTube if you want to hear a man's thoughts. It's called Guy Moments. It's Guy Moments. It's cartoon sketches of interactions between men and women and some couples. And women are shocked at the way these cartoons express a male-female relationship. And men are like, oh, they hitting it right on the head. And we don't understand how women don't understand.
This is crazy. I think we're on two different spectrums. And I'm coming back again later. We're gonna do the women's perspective too, and see where she stands. See where we both come together at. And hopefully we can get some solutions. I'm definitely gonna check that out though, because this man stuff is deep.
Listen, all right. Man. Come over to our side. And
no, I ain't coming over there. We're going to figure this out. We're going to be balanced. I ain't coming over there. I ain't playing with y'all. That don't make no goddamn sense. We're going to
just peek your head in the door. Peek your head in the door. You go ahead.
No, I'm just going to learn. I ain't going to learn those. Best to dwell with those according to knowledge. So I will learn.
Right.
However, this is a complicated thing. So I hear your points. You make very, very valid points, and you are definitely coming from a real space, and it makes perfect sense. It just sounds really rough so far. We got to bring our women I don't know.
Listen, man, the truth is a hard thing to hear.
We're gonna have to dissect this a little bit, but I needed your perspective to even get that part started. So
I get it. And I'm always willing to listen to the woman's perspective.
Yeah,
always.
Bring you back on to talk to, we might, because I think I'm gonna take and speak with the woman first, and then we bring you both together and see the dynamic. What if we can do after we put all this on the table?
I'm all for it. Sign me up.
First of all, thank you so much for joining us. Thank you for coming and supporting us. Please go and support the Two Whiskey Podcast. And also, you said there's another podcast you do?
Yeah, Love, Lust, Lies podcast, where we talk about sex, love, relationships. We dive into topics like mental health, cheating. Actually, every Wednesday, you can go search all your streaming platforms. You see right here under my name, the whole anchor.fm/Love, Lust, Lies podcast. We talk about cheating. We talk about masturbation, toys. We talk about the mental health aspect of relationships. Just your regular well-being during the relationship, and the whole back and forth between the male-female dynamic. So make sure y'all tune in to Love, Lust, Lies podcast. Make sure y'all tune in to the Two Whiskey podcast with my boy Dwayne. You know what I'm saying? We talk about everything going on in the culture and in the sports world. So we appreciate any support, and I'll make sure to shout out to the Millennial Mingles on the podcast next time.
All right.
And I appreciate you having me too.
Absolutely. I appreciate you coming out. I mean, it's good to get the male perspective. I don't hear the male opinion too often. So
real quick, I'm sorry to interrupt you.
Oh yeah, go ahead.
Love, Lust, and Lies podcast, my co-host is sex therapist Jen. I'm sorry I forgot about you, Jen. Sex therapist Jen. She is an actual relationship therapist and just mental health therapist. So, we not only just talk about the topic, we get to the actual statistics and specifics from the health, the actual doctor's point of view, or therapist's point of view, medical point of view. So,
that's awesome. That sounds great. That's awesome.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, well, once again, everybody, thank you for joining us here at Millennial Mingles. You'll find us on all platforms as well, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Instagram, and YouTube. And we're here just to discuss the ways to try to solve all of these relationship issues, as well as offer plenty of relationship advice moving forward. And we're going to definitely bring you more to come. So thank you for joining us tonight, and we'll talk to you again later.